Alright, so now let's get into the very complex form structure. So let's say this, for example. I have this, and what I want is a very cool handle thing that pops up here, or a very complex shape coming off of it. Now, I could probably sit here and go extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate. And that would be such a pain. I'm going to even challenge myself even higher, and I'm going to make a structure that rounds off, goes all the way up, and then connects at the top. Okay, just to prove it. All right, so to do that, let's think about how that would look. Let's start out with a brace square. Okay, then I have to think, where do I want this to start and end? So I actually want something in this area. And I want it to join back to this area. Okay, and then I have to think, well, it's going to be a handle of some nature. Okay, so what I want to do is extrude this face all the way out, and I want it to join to this face. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is jump into my side view, or my front view, and I'm going to introduce you to curves. So here's a curve, okay, and curves come in two different shapes. Well, a lot more than that, but by standards, you know, we got linear and cubic, okay? So linear means one point connects to another point, connects to another point, connects to another point. So with this setup, I can make very hard-edged geometry, okay? The other one is your typical Bezel curve, which allows you to do this. Click, 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 becomes a very soft curve, okay? And then these control points here, if I right click on it and I go to control vertex, I can highlight these and move them around after the fact. I can also, let's say at the very beginning, there's a way to delete the ones that you don't need. So if I want to, let's say, put one here, put one here, here, and then start curve this one back into the shape, and then work out how I want this weird handle thing to go looking like. Let's say right about there. Okay, so what I did is made this wire that connects here to here. Now I didn't really place it all that well, you know, I just kind of put it there, and it turns out it was in the middle of the face. Why? Because I put this structure in the middle of the world. I started modeling there. So what I want to do here is take this one face right here and highlight this one curve by holding shift. So you have to go into face mode first to highlight the face, then hold shift to click on the curve. And then under the extrude option, under edit mesh, extrude, square box, I have this ability to say use selected curve for extrusion. And I can pick how many divisions I want. Well, let's say I just want 6 levels of division. And I extrude it, I get this. So we see that 6 levels of extrusion really isn't a whole lot to work with. So let's look at it again and go into something like, how about 12? And now I have this. Now, as you can see, this face doesn't really match up with this face. But what's really nice about having a curve in control of things is the ability to move that curve, which leads me into curve direction, which I'll get into here shortly. So if I go to control vertex or vertice on that curve and then take that vertice and move it around, you can see that it's moving the whole piece. Now, the only thing is, we have a thing called curve direction. Okay? And curve direction deals with where I started the curve and where I ended the curve. Okay, in this case, I started the curve here and then work my way around. So I would have to pick this one to extrude out. Let's say I wanted to show you, though, how to reverse that curve direction. So I go to Surfaces and then Edit Curves. And in here, I have Reverse Curve Direction. So what that allows me to do now is now highlight this face. No matter, I changed the curve direction, so now I can extrude this way. So I have to go back to Polygons. Go back to Extrude. Make sure it's got 12 and extrude. Okay, now it looks correct. Now in the next video what I want to do is show you some combination tricks here to join these two things together, because here they're joined. What's really nice about this also is if I decide that this is not what I want as a shape, but it has the geometry I want, a very good way to do this is take and turn off geometry. And it allows you to just highlight the curve itself. And now I can manipulate that curve after the fact and really get this form down. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then I turn on Polygons again and kind of look at what I got. Good. Now in the next video I want to show you joining techniques.